March 5th through 6th, 2026, in Oklahoma, a multi-day tornado outbreak underwent primarily over Oklahoma, with other tornadoes scattered throughout Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, and Louisiana, along with Missouri, and a violent tornado in Michigan that touched down along with a separate tornado family. Starting on March 5th in Oklahoma, supercells were expected to develop in northwest Texas and advance northeast into Oklahoma, with the probabilities of large hail and a few tornadoes. For the most part, this did play out how it was expected. However, the dry line provided far more lift than was initially anticipated, and hence a group of supercells developed in western Oklahoma and traveled northeast, where they would eventually become one large supercell and would eventually become a short-lived tornado outbreak in the northwest Oklahoma and even far southern Kansas areas. For March 5th, the outlooks were generally on point, and models were on point, with supercells developing in northwest Texas and the Texas Panhandle to travel northeast into Oklahoma. These supercells developed right where they were supposed to, but as stated before, the dry line provided more than enough lift to get more supercells started, notably in western Oklahoma, that would eventually become the supercell that would produce tornadoes that were kind of misplaced from the main outlook area, where a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes. This area was expected to be where the worst tornadoes were expected to be at, in the southwestern Oklahoma and pretty much right on the Texas-Oklahoma border. However, the worst tornadoes in the outbreak occurred way outside of that area, but were still in a hatched 5% risk in the new significant outlooks for the Storm Prediction Center. The storms responsible for the tornado event in northwest Oklahoma started initially as a small group of supercells, around 4 to 6 of them, before they merged into one massive supercell. Started producing tornadoes southwest of Fairview, with the strongest likely being the one directly west of Fairview, which unfortunately killed a mother and daughter going west off the highway. The mother was calling family to alert them of the upcoming tornado, and failed to realize how close she was to it, and unfortunately got thrown off the road, thrown about 1.5 miles off the road, and unfortunately they both lost their lives before anybody can go out and see if they were okay. This was the largest and likely strongest tornado of the first day of the outbreak. It was the West Fairview tornado. This is the one responsible for killing the mother and daughter that got thrown off the highway. March 6, 2026, again, very similar outbreak. However, more areas were affected, including the Tulsa metro area in Oklahoma, northeast Oklahoma. Southwest Michigan was hit by a violent tornado family, the strongest being an EF3, if not EF4, that would hit Union City, Michigan, killing 4 people in a small community, along with another EF2 in Three Rivers, Michigan. This all occurred within a small supercell that was hugging along the warm front in the area, and a couple additional tornadoes occurred in the late night hours in Arkansas. Just like March 5th, March 6th was very well forecasted besides the southwestern Michigan area, and at level 3 enhanced risk ranged from southwestern Iowa all the way down to Oklahoma and Texas along the Red River. Very noticeably, this enhanced risk is where a great chunk of the strong tornadoes occurred, was in northeastern Oklahoma in that enhanced risk. But again, that marginal risk up in southwestern Michigan did harbor a tornado risk, but it was only 2% unhatched. It just goes to show Mother Nature just does whatever the crap she wants to do. Generally, this tornado outbreak was a bit more placed where the 10% hatched risk was. Slightly further west and northwest, the Tulsa area wasn't entirely in the 10% risk, The 10% risk in northeastern Kansas and northwestern Missouri had no tornadic activity, and instead was mostly hail and wind. And that 2% risk in southwestern Michigan clearly was not hatched. However, that's where the warm front was, and that is where the supercell that produced the violent tornado family attached itself to. Very unfortunate news. 4 people were killed in Michigan, and 2 more people were killed in Oklahoma. As early as 3 o'clock in the afternoon, supercells began developing in the eastern Oklahoma City area and began traveling northeast. The first tornado occurred just pretty much right on top of I-44, southwest of Tulsa. The area spin started near Cushing and continued and touched down near Bellevue, Oklahoma. And the same supercell would continue to produce a few more tornadoes closer to the Tulsa metro area. And then later on, multiple more supercells would take off, including this one, southern Tulsa near Okmulgee, Oklahoma, where the EF3 plus tornado touched down, killing 2 people in Beggs, Oklahoma. And even after that, multiple areas of spin would continue to ravage the Tulsa area. In the end, forecasts were pretty accurate. March 5th specifically was a bit more displaced, and the southwestern violent Michigan tornado family ravaged Union City and a couple other towns in the area. In the end, it was pretty well forecasted. However, again, it just shows that Mother Nature is completely unpredictable, and we can't predict everything about the weather. And again, unfortunately, 8 people unfortunately lost their lives in 4 in Michigan, 4 in Oklahoma in the multi-day tornado outbreak. Tornadoes have damaged or completely destroyed multiple homes, noticeably in northeast Oklahoma, including Beggs, Oklahoma, along with Union City, Michigan. We pray for the people who lost their homes and loved ones.